It's been a while since Little Mac was revealed as the newest playable fighter in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, and in that time a couple of new details have been revealed about the boxing champ. So we thought we'd bring out the analysis machine one more time to see what secrets and hidden details we could find. But that's not all. We also took into account all of your ideas to see if we could paint a clearer picture of Little Mac. As always, be sure to watch our first analysis of Little Mac, as we'll be referring back to it from time to time. With that said, let's get started. Since our first analysis, Sakurai has revealed that infinite combos like Fox's kick will no longer be infinite, and instead have a finisher. What we didn't realize was that we actually see this in motion during Little Mac's reveal, where he's punching DDD, Donkey Kong, and Fox. At first we thought he'd be able to smoothly transition from that rapid punch to another of his moves without delay, but thanks to this new info we can see that his uppercut is actually his finisher. But X noticed one other significant change about these combos. It no longer pushes the opponent back. In past Smash Bros. Games, this was potentially a way for those on the receiving end to escape the rapid attacks, but since they now have a finisher, this is no longer necessary. It's another look at just how this new entry is handling balancing. Ibrahim Mazua also had an idea about one of Little Mac's attacks. He believes the downward punch that Mac performs when entering the stage is actually the same one used against Mega Man a little later. The difference is that the former was used in the air while the latter is used on the ground. If he is correct, then this is an extremely good example of just how much better Mac's ground game will be compared to his air game. Then there's South Sang-won, who noticed that Mac seems to have a bit of a cooldown after using his charge punch against Pit and the Villager. He actually makes a bit of a pose and doesn't move, which means that if he misses the attack, then he would be wide open for other players. It once again highlights the risk versus reward with a lot of the character's movesets. But there was one element of Mac that we originally thought was unique to him alone. When we slowed down the footage of his counter move, we saw a quick clip of a heartbeat monitor. We assumed that it signified the timing necessary for his counter, but Jack He's pointed out that Marth has a screenshot on his character page that also shows off the heartbeat monitor. Since it's only a screenshot, it's impossible to tell if the timing is exactly the same, but it's interesting that there's now a visual clue for counter maneuvers, even if it is incredibly difficult to actually see. Manny Picha also noted that we missed a significant detail in Little Mac's screenshots. There's a picture of the boxing stage for the 3DS version. This seems to fly in the face of Sakurai's statement that the 3DS version will mainly feature stages based on handheld games, and Punch-Out has never appeared on a handheld. At first we thought it would only be the Smash Bros. Version of the stage, since Sakurai has shown that there will be two variations, but looking at the sign in the background clearly shows Punch-Out scrolling across the screen. Perhaps the stage made the cut because of the Smash Bros. Version, and they decided to just bring the Punch-Out version with it. Or, as an even crazier theory, maybe this hints at the possibility of a third variation of the boxing ring, one that features DDD, since that is where his boss fight took place in the original Kirby's Dream Land. They could even add some visual touches from Kirby Superstar and replace the crowd with enemies from Kirby games. But the boxing ring is also home to several other clues about Little Mac. For one, during the sequence that shows his power meter increasing, time is actually sped up. GamerTime USA and many others noted that the flames in his icon are moving much faster than before. That means it takes longer for that meter to fill than we first thought. And considering the amount of damage Bowser took before he used it, the one-hit KO may be even trickier to use than we first thought. X also noticed something interesting about Bowser and Mega Man's knockout animation. For one, Mega Man actually flies off the screen much faster than Bowser, which is odd considering Bowser had 231% damage. He believes this could mean that Mac's one-hit KO is meant only for one opponent, and Bowser was just collateral because of his high percentage. But we believe that this is actually evidence that a character's weight will have an even greater effect. Mega Man is obviously lighter than Bowser, so he flies off faster. But even Bowser at a high percentage doesn't fly as fast, possibly meaning that heavier characters will be much harder to knock out than before. In addition, X points out that Bowser and Mega Man were knocked out on the top part of the screen. In the past, this would cause them to blink out in the background or get knocked against the front of the screen. But that doesn't happen. Instead, an effect like they got knocked out to the side occurs. The only time this happened before was during bonus modes like Multi-Man. Is this fun little animation gone, or has it simply not been implemented yet? Or could it be because this is one of the very few Smash stages that actually has a roof? Finally, many of you pointed out that during the same scene, we can see that Bowser and Mega Man are listed as Koopa and Rockman respectively. We didn't point it out before because that's their Japanese names, and this footage was likely taken from the Japanese build of the game. Okay, we're almost done here, but there's still one more thing worth pointing out. Throughout the trailer, we noted that Mac never flinches when taking damage. His animation just keeps going, meaning his moves have excellent priority over the other characters, or he has some kind of innate ability to shrug off light damage. And that's everything new we could dig up on Little Mac as well as your theories. But of course, if we still miss something, please let us know in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at GameXplain. Thanks for watching, make sure to stay tuned to GameXplain for more on Smash Brothers and other things gaming too.